And here it is, the chaos, everything connected, 33 LEDs. So let's switch on the light controller. Don't want light now. And then we have the aux channel. Press 2 seconds. And then we have 2 LEDs here for one window. 2 LEDs here for the other window. 1 LED here for this side here. And we have 2 LEDs here in front. And 2 LEDs here in the rear. That's how I connected them. I can change this. Then if we switch on the main beams, we have, what do we have? We have 4 front beams. 2 here. Those are for the top position here. And we have 2 here. Those are for this position. So those are 4. And we must have 6 orange running lights. I hope I will find them. 1, 2, for 1, 2, 3, and on both sides. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. That's the rear light. Did I miss some running lights in orange? Where are they? I have 2 here and 2 here. Those are 4, and the blue ones 5. And where's the other one? Come on. There must be one more. Okay, here's the other one. So 6 orange lights, all this by front beams. Then we have, if we switch on rear lights, we have 2 rear lights, which are 4 all in all, which are also brake lights, you see. They glow only slightly, and if you brake, those are for the top position here. And we have 2 here, and those are, what a chaos here. So 3 and 4. And you see we have only 2 reverse lights. They are also here. And we have turning lights. We have 4 turning lights on each side. So to the right side we have 1 here, 2, 3, and the 4th. So that's 1, 2, 3, and 4. And to the left side, hopefully 4, 2, everything connected. 1, 2, that's the rear one. Why didn't it? Come on, I don't want to resolder it again. 1, 2, 3. So if we do hazard lights, we should have 8. This is absolutely chaos. Wow. And if we do the 3 times, we have this light program, and everything should be lit up. So all 33 LEDs. This is really chaos. And now I have to mount all those light buckets into the trailer. Again, quite a bit of work. What a chaos. What a mess, what a jam. So mounting those LED housings was not super easy. Most difficult here on the positions on the top, because you can't really get to the housings and you have to press them in with quite a bit of force, and there are the wires on the top of the housings. So again, a difficult job and super messy. I tried to clean up the wires inside already a little bit, used 2 or 3 of those cable holders on the sailing for the wires coming from the back side, and will clean it up more, but first I have to test if all the lights work. And again, I highly recommend to use T7000 or some other glue to secure the wires coming out of the cases, otherwise you will easily break them or they will get off and you will get crazy. So, wow. Let's make a test if everything works, and after the test, and if hopefully everything works, I will clean up this mess, try to clean up it a little bit more. Okay. So first let's test the 5 aux channel LEDs. Long press. One is here, that works. The other one here works. The other one here works. And 2 here, they work too. Then 1 click, front lights. 4 front lights work. 1, 2, 3, 4. And now all 6 orange lights, which are connected to the front light switch, should work. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's not as bright, but it's okay. And if the front lights are on, also the rear lights should be lit up a little bit. They are 1, 2, 3, 4. And brake lights, they work. And reverse lights work too. And we have turning lights to the right and to the left. All this works. And to the left here, 3 work. Nice. And to the right here, they also work. I hope you can see this on camera. Anything else? Don't think so. So we have all the lights working. All the lights working. All the lights working. And yes, I also broke one connection and had to resolder it again. So it's really not an easy job, and it's super difficult to handle those here inside. I used T7000 inside on all housings so that there is no light that's going to the inside of the trailer. Here is a little bit of light still on this orange LED. So let's come on, blind this. Okay, and now let's try to clean up this mess a little bit. I decided not to clean up the wire mess inside because I don't want to break any connections. There are some like this one where I could have made the wires a little bit longer, and they are connected that complicated, mainly here, that I should have made or used much longer wires to really clean up inside. I mounted this bracket now and mounted the light controller to this bracket, which will be mounted here in front. And now still all lights are working. Really happy about this. And I think inside here it's really difficult to clean up everything. Maybe a little bit, but not with here. After I mounted the bracket with a light controller here, I maybe will use some tape. Guess it will not totally be possible to clean up all the mess inside. Hope we won't see the wires too much, but there's no light inside. Check out this mess. Unbelievable. So let's mount the bracket and see what we can do then. So bracket mounted, a little bit of clean up. I mainly secured the LED wires here, 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 and on the other side again with T7000 to not to break them. Inside I used only a little bit of tape, but that way it seems to be quite impossible to make a totally clean wiring. If I would build a second trailer, I could do this, because then I knew I would have to use and make and connect much longer wires. So still all lights working, that's the most important thing. And I don't think, if it's dark, that the wire mess inside will be seen through the windows. Pwah, what a challenge. Should buy a second one and build a second one, and then I know exactly what to do. And now I have to mount the chassis and to find a small 2S LiPo which fits into this bucket and probably should be mounted that way here. We will see. I'm always afraid one light doesn't work anymore. Oh, and then start again. But so far everything seems fine. Quite a surprise. So let's search for a battery and mount the chassis. I hate Orlandoo, but now it's finally done. But if you think it's easy to put on the base plate to the body with the lights now, then you are wrong. And I want to know who from Orlandoo did build this truck. This trailer, of course. I lost the shekel now. With lights, because there were some problems. And the main problems were those light buckets here of the turning lights, left and right on the rear side, but there are also two in the center and two in front. But main problem were those here on the rear side. I sealed them with glue, what was a mistake. I had to remove it, and of course I broke one connection here, had to resolder one of those, and even worse, because of this mess, I also broke, I don't know, the left or the right, one connection in the rear lights, one turning light. So I even had to remove one of those and resolder. By the way, that's when I finally used my super tiny pointed soldering tip to solder inside the light bucket. That worked fine, but you can imagine how angry you get if you try to put this in, and it didn't work. There was not enough room, and I don't know how they think to do this if there are wires coming out. And finally I ended up carving a bit of the base plate here inside, not a bit, quite a lot, and also here, and also in the center positions and in the front position, but here it wasn't that bad. And that way, after removing both of those, removing the T7000, but here it's fine because you can easily remove this on the back side, then resoldering the one broken connection and sealing it a little bit with T7000 from inside. Then I glued it again. No, I only didn't glue it, I only pressed it in, and after putting on the base plate I put a little bit of T7000 here so that there is no light coming out. But it was horrible, really. This was the greatest horror, removing one of those again. But now it's finally done. It's awesome. And all lights do work now. But who thinks that's an easy job is totally wrong. Okay. So running lights, turning lights, not super bright, turning lights to the right, and finally the aux lights here and here, and finally I guess you want to see it with the truck, so let's do this. Now first let's talk, of course, about batteries. Let's switch it off. Let's switch it off here. Here's the on-off switch. And let's take a look inside. There's not a lot of room. I tested quite a lot of lipos, small lipos, and finally decided to use this 200 milliamp hours lipolice because it's super old. It's those or the 200 or 180 milliamp hours E-Flight. They fit perfectly, or also the 180 milliamp hours, the Turnigy. Best fit the 300 ones, not this one, this and that one. So they fit perfectly inside here. And the good thing is you wouldn't even need any shrink tube or something. You can press it in and it fits perfectly. However, I use this battery still for planes and trucks, so I don't wanna use it here. That's quite perfect. I changed from JST red because this lipolice does have JST PH 3-pin. I love it. I guess I even soldered it to this lipo. And so here's the changed plug, not a big deal. And yeah, a little bit of shrink, a little bit of Velcro, and fits perfectly. It's hard to, I have a ton of small 2S lipos, but it's hard to fit larger lipos than this 300 milliamp hours 2S. This, for example, is already too large, but you of course could, if you wanted, mount a huge lipo, even this one, inside of the trailer and then run the wires out and only use it for charging here. But for me that's okay now. 200 milliamp hours, 300 milliamp hours, but not much larger than this. And this works quite nice, this closure here, I hope, of course. And now let's run it with the truck a little bit. So here it is. And it's already hanging. Let's turn on the running lights. Turning lights, left. A little bit not enough room here, it seems. Come on. Reverse lights. Turning lights. Brake lights. It looks awesome. And the Orlandoo servo is super weak. Come on, we want to see you. Maybe better that way. The auxiliary lights. Hazard lights, running lights, full of lights. It's already, even if it's in Orlandoo, too large for the desk. So my final conclusions to this awesome, horrible, super challenging build. Want more light? Need more light? Here, it's fantastic, but it's... I don't know if Orlandoo didn't do too much to make it too difficult. Both. Only building the trailer is super difficult, as you've seen. Nobody would believe this if you see the kit, that the trailer is that difficult. And mounting the 33 LEDs, of course, that's a challenge too. And what's super annoying, that the Tamiya glue, this seems to be, have to be a little bit more up, I'm not sure. Tamiya glue, neither Tamiya cement plastic glue, nor Tamiya ABS glue glues this plastic here. And also for the panels in metal, the normal common glue for tinkering for children, you saw, it will not glue it. It was quite annoying. I had to re-glue all of those, and I used T7000, then T7000. That's always highly recommended. Super nice functions. More light, but a challenge to build. And there are, as always, the problems with Orlandoo. What was really annoying was this base plate and the light buckets here. Awful. I nearly got crazy when I broke two connections. And I don't know if Orlandoo couldn't have made this a little bit easier, and to connect all those LEDs to this light controller board of the trailer. I would recommend Orlandoo to release kind of distribution board, what would make this much easier. It's done. It's awesome. I don't know what to say. Don't think you will be able to build only the trailer kit in one evening. No, maybe, but not me. And this was a work of quite a bit of time. Oh, wow. I'm tired now. Thanks for watching, guys. Hope to see you in the next video.